gonna see if we can get an interview. So they're working right now, but we're gonna see if we can pull an interview out. How you doing? How you doing, man? How long you work with the horses?
Oh, wait a minute. Are you the guy? Yes, I love your videos. And you're doing the sale? Oh, that's good. I really enjoy them.
What you like about the real players?
I like the real players because it's real people. And I started as a hot walker in 1975 at Monmouth Park. And so some of the guys you show reminds me of those guys that I knew so long ago. So it's great to see you here.
Thank you. And you know, I tell people like my comments is like it's like a family reunion almost.
It is.
You know,
It
got that feeling because I look at the comments and I'm seeing the connections that people have from, like you said, the 70s.
Yes, exactly.
And you know, let me ask you, what was the game like back in the 70s?
Well, I started as a teenager at Monmouth Park.
Yeah.
And they always locked up the telephones on the backside when the racing started because they didn't want people betting illegally.
Yeah.
Daily racing form was $1.
Wow.
So I could afford that.
Okay.
And at the time, in 1975, I was the only woman in the barn, hot walker. And
Wow.
that's how I started. So there were very few women on the backside. Most of the men were grooms and exercise riders.
Yeah.
So lots changed in the game for the better.
Yeah.
And since Monmouth was only open during the summer, there were a lot of high school kids that would wait at the gate because you couldn't just walk in.
Yeah.
You had to have a trainer sign you in. So there'd be like half a dozen teenagers at the gate waiting to be signed in.
Oh, what made the horsemen so special, so good back then? These guys from that time.
Well, there was less vet work.
Yeah.
A lot more people, grooms actually rubbing on their legs and taking their time, less distractions. So that the grooms that were on the backside, that was their full-time position. A lot of the grooms now have a secondary job, you know, in the afternoon to support their families.
Yeah. But back then, that's all they did.
That's all they did.
And
people lived on the backside too in the rooms. You know, now there's more housing outside. So the first groom that I ever met, his name was Charlie. He was from the South. He was a black gentleman and kind of grouchy, but friendly.
Yeah.
And he taught me how to be a hot walker and, you know, just nice people.
And
Still nice people.
And you know, you still here all these years later, huh?
Well, I'm a veterinarian now.
Wow.
So, and I've been practicing. I got my license in 1984.
84. What made you choose that route?
Well, I loved science and medicine, but I didn't think that I could handle doing human anatomy, taking apart human bodies.
Yeah.
But I loved the horses, and so Monmouth Park, as a hot walker, really made me want to be a veterinarian.
Oh, your favorite moment in this business?
Met a lot of interesting horses, not necessarily as a veterinarian. Union Rags, I really liked him. He has a great attitude. He was like a puppy dog. Barbaro, I met him.
Wow.
Great horse, smart. Scrappy T, I'm with his owner today, and he was a big character.
You know, a lot of people look at racing and look at the sales and look at the farms, and I don't think people really know what goes on the backside and the love that the people have for the animals.
Absolutely. Because the horses are all a little bit different. Their personalities aren't bold like a dog.
Yeah.
It's kind of subtle, but they're all a little bit different. And, you know, some of them will stick out their tongues at you and, you know, just fun stuff.
And you know, how important is the people back here that take care of these
Pardon
horses? How important is the men and women that take care of horses?
Critical. You can't do anything without them.
Yeah.
And the ones that really love their job and do an excellent job, they are highly sought after, and they tend to stay with the same trainer for decades, just because they're just so valuable.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Oh no, I was wondering if you guys were going to be up here. I just came out to call somebody, and there you are.
Wow.
But you know what I'd like to see you do
Yeah.
is next year at Saratoga. I know you have a different profession, but if you go and get a hot walking job, I think you'll really appreciate it then. And since you're so well known now, you should be able to get something part-time.
Yeah. No,
That'll give you a real flavor.
And I've been thinking about that, and that's on my to-do list to really
No,
work on
you
the
ought
backside.
to.
Yeah.
And someone will give you, a small guy,
Yeah.
okay? The bigger guys that have, 100 horses, they're not going to want to teach you. But a smaller guy, like you interviewed Cleveland Johnson,
Cleveland
right?
Johnson, yeah.
So that'd be a great guy to ask
Yeah.
if you can come in and be a hot walker.
You
And
know
you'll
Cleveland?
fall in love.
You know Cleveland?
My partner knew Cleveland from years ago. So when he would run his horses in New York, he would send him up to Cleveland to run them because he knew him for so long.
Yeah. You like that interview, huh? A lot of people like that interview I did with
That was a
Cleveland.
great interview, really touching,
Yeah.
But get on with him next year, and I want to see you be a hot walker, and I'll critique you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll put the comments down.
Yeah. Thank you.